Today, last week we were able to look at data cleaning more or less, and we've been able to gather some feedback from the lady that joined first, which is Esther. Now, we will just be going straight into functions today. We'll be going straight into functions, and you have already some data sets, but in some instances, you will have very large data. And right now on your screen, we've shared it with your contacts in the organization. Juliet should be sharing this large data with you anytime soon. So beyond, as you know, last week, we were considering very limited data just for us to be able to understand how to navigate, what to do. Now, in some instances, you will have very large data. Look at the data on your screen. I'm going to try to navigate to the end. One of the things that we can do to navigate to the end is when you want to get to the end of from the beginning of your cell, and you are not so sure where it ends because you keep scrolling and scrolling, one of the fastest way to know the row in which your data ends is you press column end, press down your column on your keyboard and press end. It takes you to the end of your screen. Can you see that?
No, ma'am.
Can you see my screen?
No.
It did not change. You didn't
No,
get to what are you
yes,
seeing? What are you seeing
didn't
on
get
the screen right now? What can you see on the screen right now?
we are
The
seeing
large
the
data.
data, the large data.
So what's the figure? What is the figure that you can see, just to be sure? On row A, there's under row ID. What figure is this? I'm going to color it just to be sure that we are looking at the same thing. What
Okay.
number is that?
9998.
All right. So you may not be able to see I have done it because it's a keyboard. It's not a screen function. I'm telling you that from the beginning. So you can see that the row is 9997,
Oh,
9995. So that tells you that it's almost 10,000 rows of data. Did you get that?
okay.
For you to find the end of a very large data, it is from your laptop screen. It's very simple. See, if I was scrolling up, this is me scrolling up, you see that it will just be moving. It's a lot of data. Can you see that? It's a lot of data. But the easiest way to get to the end of a data fast, to know how much I have, is on your screen, after putting your cursor on the first cell here, you press Control and then End on your keyboard. You see that it comes down straight. Did you see that? And then that way you are able to see the end of the data, unlike a small size data like we used last week. So why you first of all need to establish how much data you are dealing with is so that you will know if you are indeed working with small data or large data. And as you can see right now, this particular file is a very large data. You have over 9,000 rows and you have your column up to J. That tells you something, that there's a lot of information to deal with. Unlike this, so if I wanted to check the beginning of this, how will I know if it's large data on this? I've changed my screen. I hope you can see that I've changed my screen to another data set. Okay, good. So if I did the same thing, Control End, can you see? It is just how many data is here? Where does the
21.
row end? 21. It's not even up to 21 because this is starting from number 3. Compare it to 9,900 and something. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So with ordinary scrolling, I can get to the end of this one. But with ordinary scrolling, it's going to take a while to get the end. Now we're establishing these things. We are moving beyond just cleaning data to now using functions. Now, let's start with this, our simple data. This is like information from a school and almost like the kind of data that you got last week, but we're moving a bit from it. Imagine that you are trying to help a school to set up their score sheets in their in the school. The students have just finished their exams. You have inputted their results, right? Which is like what you can see on the screen now. You have put the result. Now you want to check how they have performed, right? First
Yes,
of all, we are going to be looking at the sum function. Some of these things have been done here, but what I will just do is, because so that you will be able to see it easily, we will ensure that we work it out all over again. So when you set your table up, you want the total of 10 subjects. Can you see, if we count the number of subjects that they did, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Did you see that? There are 10
yes, ma'am.
subjects. So normally, if you got all the marks, you should get what? 1,000, right? Because if you get 100 in all the subjects, you should get what? 1,000. Is that correct? So
Yes.
that's why everybody has 1,000. Now, how do you know what each person has? So the first function we are using is the sum function. Is the sum function. And it's very simple. You would have used it before. So if I say, how do we start with the functions? Now we are looking at functions right now. All right, okay. What you start with is sum, S-U-M. Okay. And then once anything you want to use formulas for in Excel, you start with equals to. So you must start your cell where you want to get your result with equals to. Then you open brackets. If you see this, at times you will see this, it will usually show up for formulas. It will tell you what you are supposed to put there. If it is value, if it is range, if it is numbers, it has a whole lot of ways in helping you or guiding you as to what you are supposed to do. So come here, I can click on the area that I want to sum. I hope you can see my screen.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm highlighting the areas I want to sum, and then I close it and press enter. Can you see that? That is an option of doing sum. Another way to do sum is I come here, do equals to. This is the old way. I can just be clicking this plus this plus this plus this. Okay. And then I continue till the end. If I have just 5 or 3 or something, for some also, assuming it's not straight like that, I just want to add 3 things. I can do one cell plus, I pick another cell plus, I pick another cell plus this. I can find an answer like that. But in this case, what I need is equals. I do what am I supposed to do? Sum, right? Open the bracket. I highlight the range that I want to, and then close the brackets. This is sum. And like you learned last week, if we double click on what? This small dot here, I double click, it automatically gives the answer to
Oh,
the
answer.
other. Yes, it does the addition. Now let's come here and just say if we wanted to do some, what do? We say equals Can you tell me?
Sum.
Sum,
So,
open brackets. Yes. Then I
I
come
like
right down. Yes.
to
Fantastic.
close it.
And then close it. Great. You see that this addition is different. And if I want to check the addition across, what I just do is drag it.
Scroll
It
down.
has given me yes, but I don't need that. That also happens with subtraction. I will just pick equals this cell minus this cell. In the case of subtraction, you don't need to open brackets in simple terms, except you are adding or you're subtracting. This is addition, subtraction. So those are simple steps when it comes to um, functions. That is the starting point. Now imagine, and you can do the same thing for plus, minus, addition, subtraction as our simple steps of data is. Now let's go to the next step. Let's go to the next stage. I don't know if there's any of you that can reach out to our other participants who were in class last week, or we can reach out to the admin so that the person can reach out to them that class has started, because we're already 30 minutes into class. Okay, so if you can chat admin, please do. Thank you, or your contact. All right, the next function that I would like us to look at is, are we still on my screen? Can we still see the screen? Hello, can you see the screen? Are we still together?
Yes. Can you
yes,
call
ma'am.
others? That's the class.
Okay, please. You can mute your mic, but you can see my screen, right? All right. So then another
Yes, ma'am.
function I would like us to
Oh, yeah, talk. They said
work
what?
with.
Excuse me, ma.
Please,
Hello?
can you mute your mic and
Ma, they are
oh,
not in the class.
okay, no problem. All right.
They are not as they are not connecting.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so the next thing I want to consider is a function called maximum. So remember when you were doing maths in English and in school, and you want to know the maximum or the minimum, you can easily say equals to, just like we did for sum. We do max, right? Open brackets, that is for maximum. Then you can also pick the range. In this case, we want to know where the largest number is. If, for example, I want to know where I scored the highest for each student, if I close it and you see that the students scored 99 in a particular subject. So that tells you that this person scored this maximum. If I want to know maximum in a particular range, not just for the one person, I can pick the range of the table, which is who has the highest score within this table. Who has the highest score within this table? And I close the brackets. So let me do that again. So I put max, open bracket. Can you see it? It's a bit, okay. I hope you can still see my screen. I do equals to max, open brackets. Then I come and highlight the range where I want to pick. I want to know the highest mark within this range. I close it, and that gives me also 99 as the score. That means within the particular range, we're able to get this. We are able to, this is the number that is the highest. I can do that. And so this can be maximum. And I would insert another one. Let's say minimum. Okay. So for each person, if I delete off this now, equals, I pick all this as my max, open bracket, pick the range, close it, and press enter. So for me to know the highest mark for each person, I can use that to find out that, oh, the highest mark for this person is this. Now, for me to do the lowest, what do I do? Equals minimum, right? Minimum. I close. I pick the range. I also come, select where I want, close the bracket, and press enter. That means this person must be a very top. So the minimum score of this particular person who is on the high side is 68. The highest score is 69. Within the range, I can. Now let's see the application of that. Just quickly, if we go to our large data, as our data changed, and you see that we are in large data.
Data, yes.
Okay. So if I wanted to know within the sales, I want to know the maximum. Are we together? You know
Yes,
that this is a very large data,
yes.
but I want to know the least sales. This is the sales column. There are some things that have been sold, but I don't know which one is the least sales. I can just come here, do my equals to sign. Let's say maximum. I open the bracket. Now, because it is not going to be easy for me to start scrolling down to pick my range, I will do what we normally do, Control Shift down, and then close my bracket. This tells me that this is maximum sales. This 222 is the maximum for all that has been sold. And if I want to get the minimum, it's also equals to minimum, open brackets. I come here, I do my thing, select to the base, close, and press enter. You see, this tells me that the minimum sales was less than $1, but the maximum is 22,638. You will understand the use of these things when you begin to use it, but I will still stick with my small data. So we have been able to look at sum, minimum, maximum, and so on. Now, if you look at here, within the scores, I hope we're together, just to be sure. Are we getting
Mom.
it?
Yes, Mom.
Okay, great. Okay, so I mean, I'm sure we will need to share the recording with the participants later. Now, if I want, because this is a school program, and we want to know the minimum score and the maximum score. So without just not finding it out individually, I can set the minimum score here. Remember that all the addition of their scores is here already in this column, right? So for me to find the minimum score, that is what we did here. Just like we found it for individual, we also can find it for the class. Who scored the lowest? Who scored the highest? Do you understand? That is what was done here. Because we are considering class, we will just put in this information in one place. So what do we do? Just to repeat it, we do what? What are we looking for? Minimum. So what do we do? MIN equals, yes, in open brackets, correct? And
Yes.
then we come to this score, just scroll and close it. That gives us our minimum. And then same thing applies to maximum. We do it and we get the result. For something that we call median, median is like the it's not really average, but the middle score. That's important in some instances to know that where are people really leaning to. All you need in that case is also to put median. So if you are looking for high, low, huge, or not, you will find the people that got the information you need. I'm going to hide this now, just to know that we have come hiding. And if you want to hide, hiding is just a function in Excel that will not allow you to see. It's still there, but you can work without it for some time. So it's no longer in focus. So we've done some minimum, maximum. Now we want to, this is average. So what is the average score of this person? This particular student, Bolade Thomas, who scored 1999. What is this average score? What do? We just put average open brackets, pick the range, Abi, and close it. We can get the amount. Now, there are other functions that may not be here. I will come back to the ifs later, but there's something I want us to learn, the function. So there's a function called count. The count function is if I want to count how many people, how many marks we have been able to record, like in large data, for example. What count does is, so let me take, for example, I delete this 75. Like you were looking for blanks last week and you know how to find that. I can tell it to count how many cells have numbers. So if I delete 75, right? And let's say I make it snacks. Okay. I make that snacks. I come again and I delete another, let's say 50 for Adekunle. I make it blank. I want to show you what this function does. So this function, if I say count equals, I will count. If I open the bracket, it will tell me that what do I want to count? So I want to count how many people have been able to fill in their information from here. It's also a way of counting how many people we have or how many cells. Can you see? This is 18. If I did it for the next cell, you will see. Now, what for counts? Count just counts numbers. Count only counts numbers. It doesn't count alphabets, any other thing but numbers. Count does not count it. So you can see that this thing is up to 21. If we remove the first two, we're supposed to get 19. So assuming this was blank too, it will not count it. But if for the second one, it has counted this column. Now imagine if I say there is another function that is called count A, or counter. That is the way it is called. I'm going to use it now so that you will get the difference. Count A is equal to count A, open bracket. We come to this same section and see, for count A, to count everything. Are we together? Counter, can you hear me? Or am I speaking too fast? Is it clear? Are you not getting it? Can I have feedback, please?
Around 10 or 10, 11.
Please, can you mute your mic? Can you mute your mic?
Yes, yes. I just
Grace,
start coming out.
can you mute your mic? Grace, please mute your mic.
But you want to come out or you want to wait?
Can somebody please tell Grace to mute her mic, or admin? Please mute your mic. Someone please help me mute her mic.
I should send it for, but it's not around.
Yes. Okay, thank you. Okay, I will now. Can you hear me now? Can others hear me, please? Somebody should confirm if you can hear me. Oladimeji, can you hear me?
Can hear you.
Okay, great. Dimeji, I didn't know when you came to class, but how is it going? I hope you are picking some things.
Yes, I'm trying to catch up.
Okay, you came in a bit late, but what we've tried to learn, we're learning functions today, functions in different areas, and we use it for large or small data. I will switch to large data now, but we've done some, max, minimum. Now we're using like a count. There is a function of count. Count is used to count numbers. When you want to count numbers, how many is in this? So in this data set, for example, how much numbers am I working with? I can, with that function, I can do this equals, talked about the fact that when we are using functions in Excel, you need to start with equals to, then you open the brackets, or you give the command that you want, the function that you want. And in this case, I want to use count. When I click on count, okay, I then open my brackets, pick the range. I can pick the range in which, so instead of me just picking column E, I can, if I wanted to count how many numbers are the data set I am working with, you see, I just do count and I close it. The range, it tells me what? It's not adding, no, it's just counting the volume of information by data that I have. Is that clear? If I switch to my large data, for example, which is in this file, I want to know how much numbers do I have to work with. I can come here and just do equals to count. Okay, open brackets and pick a range. Remember that it's not going to share for me. It's not going to count for me numbers. It is only going to count for me. It's only going to count for me. It's not going to count for me things that are not numbers. It's going to only count for me the figures. That's all it deals with when it comes to count. Is that clear? For count A, counter, it counts everything within the cell. So that's why at some point I removed this. This had all numbers. This was actually 70. And that was where the practice came. If I want to know this column down, I want to know how many numbers or something are there. I want to know how large. If I pick here and say count, open brackets, and I come here, I highlight to the base because it's simple to do. I will close it and it will tell me 18. But if I use counter, it will tell me 19. 19 because it has counted every cell that is populated. It will count the snacks with it, but count alone counts numbers. That's where we will know the difference. I'm going to just put this back to 70. I hope we got that. At least just to be sure that we are on the same page. Did we get that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, great. So we've looked at count and we looked at counter. Count A tells you values. It takes any value in Excel is different from numbers. Numbers have to be specific. When it says number, it means numbers. It does not deal with, and this is what I was trying to show some of us. Once you want to put a formula, please tell me that you can see my screen. I'm going to try do something again. Count, just for when I open the bracket. Can you see, what can you see in this not so visible? It's not like it's written, but what can you see? Hello? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
What can you see?
There are
It
lines
says
there.
value, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, but this is value 1, value 2, right? Or you can't see it. Can you see, like, if, okay, maybe it's not showing on my screen. When you're doing a formula in Excel, it will show you some transparent suggestions by Excel. The formula tells you the kind of thing that you can use. That's how to simply go about it. And if you were using Count A, it will already tell you that you will also use, it will give you a direction of the kind of formula that you will, or kind of result that you will get. So we've been able to look at count and count A. We've looked at minimum, we've looked at average, we've looked at median. At some point, median and average, they are not the same thing. Just like in mathematics, median is like the middle number, where from the highest to the lowest, whereas average is the average of everything. So we need to, mean is average, but median is different. So you can want to find your median based on a large data. The next one we are looking at is a particular function called concatenate. It's called concatenate. This is the spelling, and you will see that it's quite interesting. I don't know if you did that last week. I wasn't fully here. Can you see my screen? Can you see what I put here?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great. What does concatenate do? Concatenate helps you to marry two cells, sort of co-join. You know, when you want to do like co-join twins. And this is a very good example. Last week, you split two names. You can use this function to join them back. What do I mean? So on the screen, you can see that Bolade Thomas is broken down first name and surname, which you know how to do by what we learned last week, right? But if I wanted to now get it back to what it is, okay, I will say equals, okay, That function is concatenate, which is where you will see concat. Okay. Or if you put concatenate, almost same thing, but if you can put concat and then in open brackets, are you with me? You make sure that you put, it's called parentheses. So you put this cell that you want, sorry, yeah. Brackets. I will show you what I'm doing right now. So, this is an example of what concatenate can do. I had to do it. Can you see my screen? Can you see my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. What we do with, I'm just going to let you be able to practice it again. So if we want to use concatenate, you come to concat, right? Open brackets, pick the name you want to join. There is a comma, okay? You
Yes.
put a comma. If I just put this one next to it and close the bracket, you will see what I have. What did I have? What do I have? A marriage of the two
Bola
names, right?
Thomas. Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So if I wanted to do that down, there's no space, no problem. But I will explain to you how to get the space. But you see, you've learned how to split the name last week. This is how to join the name. So if I wanted to join basic science and business studies together, let's say, and I want to put it in this cell, what do I do? Or let's say first name and surname. I will do what? Can somebody tell me what to do? Concat, right? Should I go on?
Yes, ma'am. Concat.
Okay, so
Open
I do concat,
Yes.
open brackets, pick the one,
Yes.
the first
Click on
one I want to join, put a comma, put the second one I want to join, close the bracket and put enter. It's not showing because the cell is very close. If I drop, can you see that I've dropped it down? What can you see? First name, surname, right? So it has joined these two cells. However, it's important to do something in between them, which is the space. So that space, you have to introduce it by yourself. Okay? That space will only happen when, let me do, okay. So if I wanted to put the space for the concat, so what I would do is same thing. I would say equals, right? What should I write? Concat,
Concat.
open
Open
bracket,
bracket. So,
the cell I want, right?
yeah.
Comma.
Yes, ma'am.
Then I
Mm.
open parentheses. I put a space, close it, put a comma. That is supposed to introduce the space for me, for the cell. No, I'm supposed to pick from another cell. Sorry, it's my bad. So I can introduce this cell that would have space. You see that space under first name. I will just make sure I put space. Don't worry. There is a space there. So it will recognize it as space. Concat, open bracket.
Equal to.
I pick this.
Ma, you didn't put equal to, ma.
Oh, sorry, thank you.
Mhm.
Equals concat. Yeah, I pick this, right? Comma. If I pick this, right? Another comma, and then I pick this, close brackets. I want you to see what happened as the space coming.
Yes, ma.
So you can easily get away with it by introducing a space, and you can use that space for everything. You can use that. So, for example, if I also wanted to do the one for Vavo Oladipo, I can just decide to say, or this last one equals concat, open brackets, pick this, comma, come here, pick this space, right? Comma, and then pick the last space, close. Did I get it? Have we seen that?
Yes.
Have we seen what that function is
Yes.
about?
Yes, ma'am.
There's a more
Yes, ma'am.
Latin. Did we get that also? Just to be sure before I go on. Zainab, you are just coming. Anyway, how are you? Latif, did you get that? Zainab, did you get that before I move on?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, great. Latif. Latif, are you there? Did you get it? Okay, I believe maybe Latif is not there. Okay, so that is how to use the function of concatenate. And for concatenate, like I said, it is a way in which you can join
Two cells together.
two cells with text together. Is for text. You marry them, you link them. So this text can be in line 1. So let's say in my large data, for example, see, I want to use, I want consumer California arts to be together as a name of a cell in a cell. What do I do? For those of you that are just coming, I shared large data. This data has over 9,000 information. I think I had shared it in camp. For some of you that may have seen it. So this you use functions better when you have extremely large data. It helps you. So if I wanted to join consumer California appliances together, I believe that you will be able to do it now. So in order not to waste too much time, we'll move to the next information. We've done concatenate. The next one is the if function. If function is quite interesting because it gives you an opportunity to give command to, or it's called logical reasoning for Excel. So you want it to do something if something is something. It's a very interesting function, but you can use it when you want to ensure that this is happening, then this is what you should do. But if this is not correct, then do not do this. We are working with a score sheet. That's what we started with today. For those who are joining us a bit late, we're working with a score sheet for a school. We've tried to, we've used the sum for everything. We now know that averagely, these are the scores that they obtained. We've used the sum formula to find it. We found their average score for each of them. Now we want to now say, maybe in this case, how do we know that they've passed or they failed? On a good day, if the total score is 1,000, what will be the pass mark? What will make you pass in a school report? What score, what mark over 1,000 will you say you have passed? Can somebody please respond?
500.
8, ma.
500, correct. So 500 is over 50%, right? So, or 50%, anything 500 and above is 50%. So for people who have, who scored above or who scored 500 and above, you can give the condition to the computer or your Excel templates to say it should make this person, record the person as pass. And if the person did not really get to that mark, then the person failed. It's as simple as that. And the beautiful thing again in Excel is that you can even preset the conditions such that is as you are putting in. So for example, now, all this, for example, this scores obtained is if even before they input their individual scores, you can lock these cells and add, you would have added up all the cells without information there, such that, so let me take, for example, I'm going to delete, I'm going to just cut this information here, and let's say I put it here, and then I decide to delete it. Okay, up to 83. Let's say I delete it. What happens is this particular cell already has the calculation that as I'm putting in the information, sorry, I think I overdid the information I was supposed to. Control C, yeah, okay. If I cut off this information here, yeah, like what has happened here, you find out that this has gone down. So if I start putting in the information 80, for example, you see that this changes. If I come to the next one, 85. The information changes. So you can preset your templates in Excel such that you don't have to come and do the work after the information has been put. You already know how you will use the information. We have this particular cell is the sum of what we are looking for. So I've put it back in there. As you can see, it has come back to its original. So when you are setting up a template, they use Excel, those data analysts, at least from the basic level, use Excel a lot as preset templates. People use it for dashboards. People use it to, it's supposed to make our lives easier. But if you don't know how to use some of these functions, you find out that it's a bit more difficult. Just like Concatenate that we did just now, you can preset the two cells into somewhere as they're putting in first name and so, or you download your data from Google Forms. When you download the data from Google Forms, once you have preset the information, you can just carry it and put it on a template that you have created. And you find out that half of the work is already done for you. You can say, oh, you may not be able to pre-split a screen or a cell before you get it, but you can concatenate a cell as a preset template because you are working with two different columns or two different cells. So let's go to the if function. This is where we use the if, and I'm just going to tell you how if works. So if you see, some of these things had been initially, of course, I will repeat it for you so that you will know what it is that I'm talking about. When we want to use if, when we want to use the if cell. Like I said, if cell is a logical reasoning. You start with if, then you put your Excel will tell you, if once you say equals to if, it will then tell you that you put the condition, the logic that you want to put behind before you now start putting in your information to be either correct or wrong. And so let me start with this. So if I want to do, for us to achieve what we have just seen, we start with equals to, okay? Then we say if. Once you start with if, what do you do next? Open bracket, right? Am I correct?
Ma.
Okay. Now, what did we say? For you to have pass mark, what are you supposed to do? You should be above, at least, you should be above
500.
500. But 500 is also a pass mark. So what you will be above is 499. Okay. So if we then want it to be, so we will pick, which one are we picking? This is the cell that we are saying that this particular one, which is our total average, the total of the score of each student. This is the cell that contains it. Then we put greater than what? 499. Are you there? Hello?
But we don't get to.
Okay. I want this thing to be, we're still coming, but I want this information to be this, if this thing is, this is the condition I need to put first. At least you can see that. Then I will put, I'll put my comma. This parenthesis is very important. Okay? You pass. Don't worry, I'll explain it to you one more time because I know that at times it can be very confusing. Fail. Close bracket. I'm going to delete this. Let me say, when you want to do conditional formatting, which is not if function, the if function, you are giving two conditions for, so let's say, can you see this cause under here? We'll just concentrate on this one. Let's not go to that one that is a finished one. You can see that this is 52, 41, 62. Can you see what I have highlighted?
Yes.
Let me follow it. Can we see it? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great. Is there only one person that can see it? Is there only one person that
I
is
can
with
see
me?
it, so ma.
I can see it
Okay.
as well.
Thank you. Thank you. So I want to use if function. This if, the function is, if something is this, let this happen. If something is that, let another thing happen. So in this case, within these cells that I have highlighted, some of them are greater than 50, some of them are less than 50, right? So if I want to see the cells that are less than 50, I can say, I'm going to remove the color of this so that we'll first of all appreciate it. So I'm just going to focus on the one that has a bit more. Don't worry, I'll color another one so that I have a mix. Yes, I think I can use this one. Yes, let's use this particular one. That one has a mix, so it will help us to see. Have you seen what I have highlighted?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so if it is greater than 50, say yes. Lower than 50, say nay. That is the condition I want to give the system. I can say if you are older than 15, say adults. If you are younger than 15, say a child. I can give it that kind of condition. Now, in this case, I want to use this particular cell. I will say equals if, at least we get it up to that point, right? Should I
Yes,
go
ma'am.
on?
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
Yes,
then
ma'am.
do what? Open bracket, right? When I open my bracket, the first thing I'm going to, when I'm using the if function, the first thing I'm going to do is what is the condition I want it to meet?
It for okay.
That condition is what I will stipulate. So in this particular case, I want to know those numbers that are above 50 or below 50. Okay, I will say above 50, yes, below 50, no. Or I can say thumbs up or thumbs down. You can, I will put thumbs up and then thumbs down for you to realize how the level at which the if function can work, and you can set it ahead. So if I say above, so greater than is above in mathematics and is on your keyboard. Should I go on? I'm giving the condition now, above 50. Okay, I put a comma. That is my condition. Are we together up to this point? I need to be sure.
Yes, ma'am.
So this above. So I pick the cell above 50, then comma, right? Now, what do I want it to do? If it is above 50, do something. If it is not above 50, do something. So what do I want it to do if it is above 50? I want it to be thumbs up. Now that thumbs up, I'm typing it, so it's not like it's the emoji. I'm going to put it in parentheses. That condition has to come in. Parentheses is the double comma, like quotation mark. Okay, then I put thumbs up. I close this with the quotation mark, put a comma. There's no need for another condition. I just put another open comma, thumbs down. Did you see? What did he say?
Thumbs up.
What's thumbs up? If I scroll it this way, can you see this is what? Another,
Thumbs up.
another,
Thumbs up.
what is this?
Thumbs down.
Did we get that?
Yes,
Ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So I can explain it one more time if you are confused, but it is a formula, and that is why it's a logical function. You can preset it. I can use the same thing and say, okay, instead of thumbs up, I can decide to say instead of thumbs up, I can come here, change my thumbs up to girl, and then boy. No shade though. It's just, oh no, let me use colors. Yellow. Before you people come and tell me that it's gender misrepresentation. Yellow, red, or green. Okay. What do I have?
green.
And if I scroll like this, can you see? So it tells me green, green. All these have the conditions that they are above what? 50. Green tells me it's above 50. Yellow tells me it is below 50.
Below 50.
Did we get that?
Yes, ma'am.
Zainab, did we get that?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you sure?
I'm not 100% sure, but I'm just trying.
Okay, so I'll take it back to the pass and fail now so that we can sort of try to apply it. Latif, did we get that?
Yes, my bits, yes.
Okay. I because this is where some of we are going to the higher level of functions, and so I really would like us to get it, and we're applying it to a school setting, which some of us will see around us every day. That's where you can even say you want to easily apply the knowledge that you have acquired. I am going back to the template that sort of works with what the condition that we're trying. So remember that we were talking about scores in school, okay? And we have put in their results. We have found their total score. Are we together to this point? I want to focus on Latif and Zainab for now because I've been hearing a lot of Esther's voice and Grace's voice. So Latif, you know you are the only man on this call, so your voice will be clear to me. At times I don't see the screen, but Zainab as well. To this point, are we clear?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great. Now what we want to do is we want to know if these people pass or fail, right? We want to give that condition, we want to preset it, and we want to use the if function. We have found the total of their scores. So what do we do? Can you help me? I want to know if you got it. And at this point, ask the question you're supposed to ask if you're not sure. What do I do? I've started with is equal to.
You do if.
Equal to if.
All right. So if.
Then parenthesis.
I open brackets.
Yeah. Then you choose the score.
The cell, yes, the score. So in this particular case, the score, I want to put this condition, okay?
Yeah. And put your greater than.
Okay.
Then if it is greater than, it's either true or false. Or pass.
No, so greater than what? You have not put the complete condition. Greater than what?
Greater than 499, as it's the
Okay.
average.
499, correct. Because once it is 500, the person has passed, Abi. Once
Yes.
it is, and interestingly, you can also do it the other way around. You can say lower than 500, fail. Do you understand? It's up to us. It's the same thing. It means the same thing. Greater than 500 and greater than 499 is
That's
is
500.
equal to less than 500. Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay. So that is you are correct to this point. So what do we do next? We then do comma. This is the condition. Okay.
Yeah.
Now we now open the double quotation mark. Now, what do we want it to say? What will be the correct thing? If, always remember when you're using the if function, the first condition you are giving is must be when the condition you are giving it is correct. So if you want it to be yellow, if you want it to be a boy, if you want that condition to give this result, then you put that result first. Then whatever you don't want it to be will be the second thing. That is the logic behind the use of if. Are we clear? So what should it be if it is greater than 499?
Pass.
Pass. Pass. Good. However, if we had used, if it is less than 500, what would it have been? Fail.
Fail.
That
Yes.
would be the starting point, correct? Fantastic.
Yes.
So you're coming along. I'm glad. Zainab, did you get it to this point too?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fantastic. So I am putting pass, close brackets, not brackets, quotation mark, do a comma. Then the next thing would be one space bar or something. Then open bracket again. And this time around, what is the alternative to pass?
Fail.
What? Eh?
Fail.
Fail.
Fail. Okay. And then we close it and then close the bracket as a whole. Can you see that? That's basically it. This is as simple as, so you find out that, and I have done the drop down. That's why it has gone down, scroll down straight. That's why you basically see some people when they input information, it just goes in, and this one has been sorted by this thing already, but at least. So are we good with the if function? Are we good with the if function?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Fantastic. Okay. There's another function that is like count if, but it's called count if. It's called count if. So always look at data that I've said it over and again. I cannot say it more than and I will keep repeating it. Data can be extremely large. Formulas are supposed to make your life easier. I'm sure our team, maybe they have sent you the large data already that you can use for practice, and we'll be expecting some other feedback later. Now, if I wanted to count if the people pass or they fail, you know, it's a different thing. If it's just to know that they pass and they fail, but I want to count if you have passed or if you have failed. That is another function, and I can use it here and say equals count if. Now, when you put count if, you are counting. You are counting. You are not sort of doing the formula. I want to know how many people passed, how many people failed. I will pick the range in which I want. Okay. And then I will now put my criteria in the so if I put pass, what did I do? I don't want to count by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people, how many passed, how many failed. I want to count the people that met a particular condition. Are we together? Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Count if. When you use count if, is you are giving a condition to what it will count. This has helped us to count if the people in this range, how many are they that passed. I can also use it to find out how many failed. It's very simple. Count if, open bracket, I will pick the range first, right? I select the range I want to work with that has the condition, put a comma, okay? And I can put fail. I didn't put parentheses, sorry. Fail. Did we get it? Did we get it? Should I repeat it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Let's count together. How many people passed? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. See, if the count is, the number is a lot, you want to know how many of this is something or how many of this is another thing. you need to be able to give it the condition. You know what? Let me try with large data. Maybe it will. Can you see my large data? Can you see this large data? The one that has
Yes.
large data. Okay. So let's say I want to find out how many furnishings, or let's say chairs, okay, have been sold. I want to know how many of this is chairs, or how many of this is California. California is how many people bought in that state. Am I correct? Do you, maybe not correct, but do you get to that point? I want to know how many California is here. Should I go on?
Yes.
Yes, Mike, can go on.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
I can come here and give a condition to it and say count equals count if. What do I do next? Open bracket. I select the range. Remember that selecting the range in large data, you put shift control down. Okay, that's how it will easily go down for you. Then comma. Then I say in parentheses, California. Close my, and then okay. Did I get the name correctly? Okay, I didn't spell the name correctly. That's why. So California. Just to be sure, California. Okay. Did you see that? What happened? What has it done for me?
You brought the figure.
Which figure is that?
The total amount of California.
Fantastic. Please, just 1 minute. Hello? Yeah. Yeah. All right. I'm on a session, sorry. So you can see if California is 2001, you see that you can't count it by yourself. Do you understand?
Yes.
You want to know how many, so let's do an example. We want to know how many chairs was sold in this large data. What should I do? Can somebody tell me? Equals, what should I use? Let's go on. We have
Count
just 30 minutes to go. Yeah?
equal
Count
to
if.
count.
Count if. Count if. Count is just going to just ordinarily count. And I think we've talked about count already. We've done count, we've done count A. Oh, but count if. Now, what's next?
Open bracket.
Open brackets. Great. Then what do I do? Pick the range, right? Pick the range. Yes. So this time around,
Yes,
we're
select the
trying to
range.
look for, let's say, chairs. It would be easy to spell chairs. So because it is large data, I have said it before, when you have large data and you want to go to the end straight of a column, you press your shift control down,
Keep control down.
down key. That already has picked it as a range. You put your comma, okay? And then for the condition or the criteria, you open your double bracket. What are we looking for? What do we want to count? What did you say we want to count?
Yes.
How many
Yes.
shapes are there? Sure.
Then we close the brackets, close with a double, and how many chairs have been sold?
617.
So that is the function of count if. So if I come back here, I mean, you may not need it in all instances. This is just to tell you that you can count something based on a condition. You can give it a criteria. If I wanted to count everything here, I would just use count and count all the numbers. I told you that count counts numbers, not with text. Okay. But if I wanted to count all the text here on this my screen, all I need to do is use count A. It will count all the cells that is populated. So there's a difference between count, so that you know there's a difference between count A, counter or something. You will see it as count A, and there's difference, and then there's also something called count if. So do we understand the difference? We have done all this today. If you do not understand the difference, let me quickly help you to understand the difference before I move on to the next one. Anybody? Oh yeah, now. Anybody? Which one do you not understand the difference?
Count
Yes,
A.
ma. Count A, ma. I didn't understand the count A very well.
Okay, I will repeat it. Which other one? Who else?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to do the 3 again so that you understand.
That's all for me.
Yeah.
Ma. Only the count A.
Latif, which one don't everybody understands count if, right? I believe that we have done count if very well. Everybody understands count if.
Yes.
ma'am.
Okay, great. So let's go to count and count A so that we know the difference. And in the case of using functions, you can actually click here. If you see these effects on your screen, they are functions. It will tell you insert function. And then I can pick the function I want. So for example, this is count. If I wanted to use it that way, I'm going to use on count, pick OK. Then I'm going to go and pick the range that I want it to count. And from that, I'm coming here. Let's say I want to count how many numbers is on this entire screen. Okay, see, what do I have? 190. I don't want to confuse you. We can do the regular one that you know, count. If this is what you know, we open brackets. Okay, I come here. I select everything here. Count numbers. I'm going to select the whole table so that you will know the difference. I'm starting from Bolade Thomas to the end of, I will just pick where the names are, up to 33. Did you see my range?
Yes.
And then I close the bracket, enter. What do I have? 190, right? Now, if I want to use count A, this is where the difference is. I come here, count A or counter. Here, some people, I come to the same range. This is Bolade Thomas. And then I come here, close it. What do I have?
228.
228. The difference is that count A or counter counts everything, including texts. It doesn't only count numbers, it counts values, everything. So it has counted all the cells. It has counted all the cells that has names. It has counted all the cells. Now, assuming I delete Ayokunle, let's say, you find out that it has become what?
Yes.
It has reduced by 1. It was 228 now. Counter was 228. It has reduced by 1 because that cell is empty. But count did not reduce, even though I captured it in the range, because count only counts numbers. However, if I delete a number here, you see that it will affect both count and counter, because Counter counts both numbers and names. Count counts only numbers. So that number has affected all the cells that have been filled. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Mhm.
We sure? Any other person?
Yes,
Latin
ma'am.
is
It's
clear.
clear. Yes, ma'am.
Great. Zainab.
Ah,
Sorry?
yes, ma'am.
It's clear. All right.
Yes, very
Great. Two quick things or a few more things. I'm going to give you an assignment. None of you didn't share your assignment last week, but this time around, because I'm the one taking you next week too. And next week we are going into visualization. So we want to know this a bit before we then go to a higher level sort of, and then we round it up. This is another function and it's called the ifs. The if function is sort of conditions, additional conditions when you have conditions that meet conditions. Okay. Now, what do you do in this case? When you use the ifs function, you are telling it that if this particular column, if it is reading pass, then it should be promoted. But if it is reading fail, then you should repeat. So it's a combination of ifs. If it's just one, if you are using the if condition, you are using only one if. You are giving it only one instruction. But if it is, you want to give it two or three, what's it called? You want to give it two or three conditions at once. You can make that happen by giving it the kind of condition that you want it to do. So let's take this one, which we have also highlighted. For example, you find out that you use IFS, that is ifs. You've already moved it away from, you have given the system the mindset, Excel, that this thing, no, it will be multiple conditions that you are getting. Okay. Now, in this particular case, you are saying if in this column, oh, this thing says is equal to pass, then let it do this. But if it is this, let it do that. Let's retry it so that you will get what we are saying. What are we using? IFS, correct? Then we open our brackets. The condition is coming from this, if this range, this is the range, is equal to parenthesis pass. Then promote. If this again equals fail. I'm not doing something correctly. Should have moved. Yeah. If yeah, this is equal to pass, so one has to be deliberate about some of these things. If you don't know how to use those, what's it called?
Formula.
The what's it called now? Our double quotation mark, parenthesis. At times it makes the work really stressful, and you may just be stressing out on some small challenges. That's where one will just have to pick it. I'm going back to ifs. Opening, if this range, right, is equal to, the condition is pass, it would be promote, then the next one would be if I select the same range again, okay, is equal to my condition fail. I close it, then comma, repeat, close bracket. Can somebody try to explain what I did? If we try it, we'll know it. If we don't, we will not know it. And I'll go to the large data for us to try something in that regard, just like we did count if. Okay. What did we do? Can you see this section where this thing is scrolling? I want to use it to explain something under ifs for you. Can you see it? Can you see my cursor? Okay.
Yes.
When you are using ifs, the first thing on your this thing is IFS, open brackets. What is the condition? So the condition here is if this range, it may not be a range, it may be a cell, but the first thing you must do when you are using if or ifs is to give the logic behind the condition you want to give the system to do something. So you are saying that within this range, since we have put pass or fail already, this range, if it is pass, if you read pass there, then what should you do? The comma, the condition will always have equals to, greater than, less than. Do you understand? Because it's a condition you are giving, and those are the symbols that Excel can read and understand. So if you say, if this happens, then you should do this. However, if this happens, then you should do that. In the case of if, you will not give that series more than just, all you are telling Excel in the case of just if is, if this happen, do this or do that. That or do that is not if this happens. So in the case of ifs, you are having two ifs. If this happen, do this. If this happen, do that. In the case of if alone, you are saying if this happen, do this or that. So that means if it's done this, it can only be that. Are we clear? Should we try it again? Should we do it again? Let me see if we can do a data from the large data. Okay, so let's try something here so we will understand. In this case, we have so let me see, we have consumer, corporate, and they're about, so for me to see the number of I will go to data, filter. I don't know if we talked about that yesterday. You see that how many things are under the, there are only three. Consumer, there are only three. We have consumer, corporate, and home office. Consumer, corporate, home office. Are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
So if it is not consumer, if it is consumer, I can say 1. If it is corporate, say 2. If it is home office, say 3. I can give it that condition. That is what we're about to do. Let's see how it works. And that is ifs. That is ifs. It's no big deal. It's just to understand what to do. So in this case, for me, I hope I didn't just select. Okay. I am sorting by, I'm not even sorting. I think it's sorted already by some data, but I'm going to mix it up. Let's just say I mix it up by states. Sort so that the thing is scattered, and you see that you can make sense of it even despite the fact that it is scattered. I want to use, so sort by, okay. You see here that you have home office, corporate office, and what is important is to have the correct name. So I must make sure that home office, I spell it correctly. I'll bring it here, bring it out, so that when I'm spelling it, it's not confusing. Paste. Control C. I want to paste home office, corporate. When you don't spell things right in Excel, you can be confused. That's, you have to be conscious of, okay? And then the last one, consumer. See what we're about to do in this instance. What is, we want 1, 2, 3. We want to name it 1, 2, 3. Okay, I've deleted the, so now I want to give it a series of condition ifs. Hello? Should I go ahead with that example?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I say equals, what do we want to use?
IFS.
Great, IFS. Open brackets. What's the first thing I want to do? I pick my range, right? And my range
Yes.
is in column D, right? But it's huge. So what am I supposed to do? Remember I said something. Control, Shift,
Shift, control down.
down. Fantastic. That has already picked my range. And now what is the condition that I want to give it? If it is equal to, right? I put equal to there. And then I say, what's next? What's the,
In
I
quotes,
put,
I think in quotes you put
yes, correct. Yeah, you are coming. Yeah, fantastic. I like that. Equals home office,
yeah.
space, office, right? That's
Yeah.
why I made it in our site. Close the, what should I, what should it then be? A comma. If I don't put a comma, it will not, it will still assume that I'm still giving that condition. What should it be? What will the value be? Another quote. Okay. I will put, what should I make? 1. Do we use number 1 or just put ONE? Let's say ONE.
Okay. Okay.
ONE. Or should we say yellow, green? What do you want us to use as a condition?
Anyone is fine.
Okay, so let's use 1 for the purpose of this conversation. 1, right? I close it. I put another what? Comma. Okay. I've just given the first condition. Are you repeating this thing 3 times? This 1 is just to say, if it is this, so make it 1. If the second one is this, make it 2. If the second one is this, make it 3. Under this range. Should I go on?
Yes, please.
Okay, thank you. So I pick my range again. I do shift control down, right? Equals, come back to say equals what again? Open brackets, open quote mark, parentheses, and then I say if it's equal to what? Corporate. I hope I spelled it right. Yes. What should I do? If it is corporate,
Put comma
what should
then
it be?
2 in
Fantastic.
quotes.
2 in quotes. Close my 2, right?
Yes,
Another comma.
Yeah,
Then I do
select
what again?
range.
I go
Select
back
our
to
range.
fantastic. You're my hero this evening. This morning. You are getting along. What do? I put the condition as what? What condition should I put?
What's the next
I put it as
condition?
3.
No, we have not given it the.
If it is
first.
equal
We only
to, sorry. Yes, correct. Consumer, right?
Yeah.
Then what should I do?
Comma, then
Comma.
3 in quote.
Then 3, and I close my
Bracket.
Did we get it? At least I know that Latif got it. Who's with me? Who else got it? Who can Latif? What has happened is that, and if you see, we will be able to, can you see how much? That means we have a lot of corporate, now it's almost as good as picking corporate, but it's usually not as simple as that. Imagine that one that we said promote, demote, keep in, or relocate, move, change seats, sack. Do you get? This is how you can recommend people for stuff. This is how you can use the existing condition to achieve something. This is a series of ifs. Who is, apart from Latif, who did not get it? How many people are confused? It's not that deep.
Oh, I'm confused.
Who is speaking? Sorry.
Zainab.
Okay. Zainab is confused. Okay. I want you to get it, and we are going to get it. So I'm going to ask Latif. Latif. Okay, what do you not get? So that Latif can explain it to us. What did you not get? Should I go with the large data or the simple data so that you will understand it a bit better?
Large data.
Must go with the large data.
I should go with the large data. Okay. So let's come with the large data. What do you not, where did you understand it to so that we can pick it from there? Which condition are we using? Are we trying to explain? Which function? Which function is this?
From these three.
Which
um,
function are we using? That's so that we know what we are using. Which function is this for this calculation?
If.
My
Yeah.
ZIFX.
Yes, ifs. And what did I say about ifs? Let's see, what is the difference between if and ifs?
I think if is a three conditional statement function, or
Ifs have series of conditions.
series.
One,
Yes.
if you use if, is just one
There's
condition.
one. Yes.
But if you use ifs, you can use like multiple conditions
Multiple
together.
conditions.
Do you understand? That's the basic difference. If is either this or that, just one simple direct. And I think all of you got the if, Abby,
Yes.
or you can't remember the if.
Now we can remember.
Okay, so now let's talk about ifs. In the case of if, it's like a senior brother to ifs. In the case of ifs, it's like senior brother to if. The condition you are giving in if, you are now multiplying it 2 times or 3 times. If this happens, this will happen. However, when this has happened, let this also happen. That's basically what you are telling the system. If you look at the dashboard up here, at the bar up, that's where we gave the condition. If, let me, once you want to use if or ifs, you start with what? You start with the logic. If this happens, I think I've explained that a lot, Abby. If this is what is the logic you want behind it? Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
So in the case of the previous if, where we use pass or fail, let's come back briefly. What did we say? We said if we pick this, so in this case, we said on this Excel, if this thing is more than 499, let it be pass. Abi, if not, it will be fail. We didn't have to
Fail.
say not, make it fail. All we said is if this thing is more than 499, fail. However, when we are going to ifs, the basic difference is that we are saying that if this thing, this whole range, and in this particular case, we are saying range, we had to select the range as opposed to selecting just one cell. We selected the range. If it is pass, or if it is yellow, if it is 200, if it says paper, let it be green. If it says shoes, let it be orange. If it says bananas, let it be. I'm trying to see how else I can explain it. Latif, can you help us explain it as a young man in the age range of, as a copper too, in the age range of the people listening? Help me do another way of explaining this since you understand it.
So, according to what you said, under this segment, now we have just three this thing there. We have home office, corporate, and
Sorry,
consumer.
I'm going to do this. Sorry, just a second. I'm going to hide this so that this will not be confusing others. Okay.
Okay.
This is what we are working with. This is what we want to give the condition to, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Are we there, guys? Are we there?
Yes, ma'am.
We want to work with column D. Huh? Go ahead.
So, So there we have home office, corporate, and just consumer. Since there are just three, not more than three like that, so we are going to do three conditional statements for the ifs. So for the ifs, our first statement will be for either home office. We can choose anyone, then we'll give it a figure or anything just to identify it. Then we put our statement for the remaining two like that. Then run it. I hope.
Lassie, you are the one that did cybersecurity, Abi.
Yes, ma'am.
Because the way you just say run it, I'm sure they will be like, Shay, you have just taught us now. Shay, is that one teaching? You did not, did he help you? This man is already speaking computer language because is in computers that you run stuff and he gets the whole conditions. I suppose. Who Esther, are you there? Is Esther there?
I just think if we can type out the whole statement, so I think it would be more preferable like
It will
that.
help.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Esther is no longer here. Zainab and Grace, you are the two that are here, right?
Yes,
I want you
ma'am.
to get it because we are actually overshooting our time. But once you pick that, any other complex formula, yes, Excel has some complex formulas, but see, once you can bring your mind to some complex formulas, you'll find out that it's no big deal anymore. Let me go back to the simple one. I don't want to use this complex one anymore, since this one will make a bit of sense to you. You got it up to the point where we got pass, Abi, pass or fail. Are the two of you clear, Grace and Zainab? You got how we
Yes,
got
ma'am.
the Zainab.
Ma? Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fantastic. Now, on top of that pass, you now want to give it another condition. You know, when you are doing school results, it's not just enough to say pass or fail. That one is not who he helped, maybe in first session or in second session. It has not really, but what do we do with that information of pass or fail? What should we do with it? That is why you want to give it an additional instruction in setting up your templates. Now, what should we do when we want to do ifs, which is where we are bringing in the promote? And I will explain it one more time. For the ifs, usually you start with a range because it will not just work with one cell. Ifs we'll be working with larger data. If might be one cell alone. What should we do in this case? We will start by saying equals to, okay, Zainab, I hope we are together. Grace, I
Yes,
hope we
ma'am.
are
We're
together.
together.
Okay.
Yes.
What do I put? IFS. Am I
IFS.
correct? Great.
Yes, ma'am. Open
And then
bracket.
open bracket. Fantastic. We are, sorry,
Select
my
the
open.
range.
Great. So which range am I? The range I want to first, and that's where because it's ifs, I'm selecting a range, right? That
Yes,
if,
ma'am.
okay. And what is the condition I want to give it? In this particular range, what can it be? What are the information in that range? In the range we have selected. This range, what information is there? Pass or fail, Abi?
Okay, yes.
Ma.
Abi? So,
Yeah.
So anything you are picking, the range you are selecting, the information must be contained in that range. Okay? We
Okay.
select the range. We now say what? If in this range, it is equal to, if it is numbers, we can say if it is equal to, if it is greater than, if it is less than, but your information must be within the range you have selected. Okay?
Yeah.
For example, now, if you have stayed in an organization for more than 10 years, they will say you are qualified for an award. You can put that conditions there. Say, if more than 10 years or achieves 10 years this year, you must do this. You must send a letter of commendation. If you hit your targets, if you meet this range of targets, you deserve a car. You deserve 30% increase. Much more. If it is equal to what can it be equal to?
Pass.
Eh? Yeah, you said something. Now let me hear it again. Say it.
Pass.
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 You're correct. So if it is equal to, remember that we're still setting the condition. So if it is equal to pass, right?
Yes.
We say comma. Then in parentheses now, that thing that you want it to do, you must remember to put it in quotation mark. If you don't put it in quotation mark, it will not see it as the thing you want it to do. Is that clear? That's
Yes,
where you
ma'am.
now put that quotation mark. Now, if
Then
somebody passed,
promote.
what should the person do?
Promote.
We should promote. So we are giving it the condition to promote. We close the quotation mark. Now, if we leave it like this, that means anybody that has failed will not have anything. That's why we must put another condition for the fail. So after this first condition, we'll put comma. Comma means that you are finished with this first condition. Then we go to the next condition that we want to do. So the same range, I will now come back and select my range again. Okay? When I select my range, what am I telling it? Equals to what? This time around, if it is what? Fail.
Fail.
Yes. I do what? Comma. What should happen? I will open the quotation mark. Always remember that the condition after the logic, or the thing I want you to do after the logic, is what I will put in quotation mark. What should happen if the person failed?
Repeat.
Good. So I put repeat. And I close the quotation mark. But I must remember to do what? Finally close my bracket.
Bracket.
Oh, I'm sure I've done something wrong. What did I do? Did I not pick a proper information?
Okay, let's see. I think it's the way you spelled the repeat.
Okay. No, that's not it. It's because I did not put my pass and fail in parentheses. Remember that even so here, pass, this condition that I'm giving it, I didn't remember to put it inside.
Parentheses.
Yes. Let's see. See? Did you see? So when I'm giving the condition, I put it in quotation mark. That quotation mark is what it will read as the condition. So your conditions, your stuff have to be in the quotation mark. I hope you got that. Did you get that?
Yes.
I'm going to leave you to go and practice. So
yes, ma'am. That's the thing. I feel like I can practice, understand more.
Exactly. But I hope you have learned something today.
Yes, ma'am, of course.
You've learned. Okay. Fantastic. Yes. We were supposed to look